Hello everyone, this is Susie Q, Susie Q's Happy Little Haven, and welcome to my nursery room window. Today I'm going to be celebrating Theme Thursday with my largest toddler, Madeline. Madeline is the Tristan Sculpt by Janine de Lange, and she was born on July the 4th of 2018, and I received her just a couple of days later. She is the largest toddler in my collection. She wears a size 2, and she was reborn by Ema Bennett. And so, what I want to do today is the theme is Valentine's Day and hearts, and the alternate theme is red, pink, and white. And so, I don't have any really hearts in my collection of clothes that I have for this little girl, but I do have red and white, and so I think that's going to cover the red and white portion of Theme Thursday. So let's go ahead and get started. She's a heavy girl. She probably weighs at least, I haven't officially weighed her. I re-weighted her after I got her from Emma. I re-weighted her to a body that was more suitable to the proportion of her head and limbs. She had a much smaller body for some reason. It came with the kit, and so that's why Emma did it that way. But I changed her body into a much more larger body. So I think she weighs probably at least 10 pounds, if not more than 10. I'm guessing more than 10, but I've never weighed her. So anyway, I've been wanting to put this dress on her because I got it, I got it around the time that I got Madeline. And I think for those of you who have, been on my channel as a Dolly friend for a while, they have seen this dress. And this is satin. And it can either be worn on Valentine's Day or Christmas, I'm guessing, or even a special occasion on the 4th of July, for the red, white, and blue. But I chose it to put on Madeline today for Valentine's Day. Well, anyway, what's special about this dress? It's got a pretty panel in the front. This is kind of a separate panel attached with a bow here. And then on the back, it has a bow with a panel, but this panel is removable. And if you can see the buttons right here and on right here, if you wanted to not have a bow in the back with the panel, you could take this whole panel off. And I might just do this as a demo for you before while I'm putting her dress on. But anyway, I thought that was quite unusual. And really, this is a really pretty dress. You'll see that it also has sparkly rhinestones actually on the satin part of the collar. And then it has this sort of, I guess, tulle or whatever, it's kind of like the nylon over covering. It's a really pretty dress. It's by Nanette Lepore, and of course it's a size 2T. And so that's a really special dress. I'll show you too that I was just gonna say it also has an underneath layer. It has this satin ruffles underneath on that layer, and then it's got a tulle layer underneath that's attached to some, I guess, nylon. But anyway, it's a beautiful dress. I got it on eBay as a pre-owned dress. But, of course, the little girl that wore it probably only wore it once and then grew out of it. So that's what she's going to be wearing today. And then I chose these cute little shoes. I think you might have seen these around Christmas time. But they just absolutely go with this dress. And you'll see these are little ribbon roses with little like pearls in the middle. And then here's some little white balls. And this kind of goes along with the red and white portion of the theme today. It's got real cute little bows. I used to have a pair of high-heeled shoes when I was working. I was an executive assistant, and I used to, get all dressed up for that. And I had a red pair of shoes that were patent leather like this, and they had a really cute little bow just like this on the back of the heel, on top of the not the well, it wasn't the heel, but the back of the shoe. And I love those shoes. I just thought they were the most adorable shoes. But anyway, I think these are too. And then the socks I've chose are these socks that have they have like a tulle ruffle around them, and then they have a satin edging. So everything is kind of coordinated. And also I was thinking at the end I might put this sweater on because of it being cooler weather. And this particular sweater has red roses on it. I have 3 sweaters like this, but the roses are different colors. I have 2 other ones. One has medium pink rose, and then one has a light pink rose. But and also the roses, they coordinate with the color of the edging that they've got on the sweater. So this one also has this pretty white edging. And so this is by Lilacs. And I don't know if it's going to fit her or not. We'll see. This is just sort of an experiment. I may or may not put it on. I don't know. We'll see. And then the bows are these bows, and they also have satin. They're made of satin and tulle. Trying to get it out of the shadow. And so she's going to have the same hairstyle because I love this style on her. But we're just going to change out the bows and give her hair a little comb. So let's go ahead and get started. Yeah, let me go ahead and take her shoes off. These shoes are a bit big for her. These are actually a size 5. They're from Cat and Jack, but she has really chubby feet, and so these are actually really large for her, but I thought it'd look really cute with this outfit. However, she can also fit into these shoes, which are a size, I think these are like a size 2. But that's what's, really fun about these dolls is that it really doesn't, I mean, you can put larger shoes on them and you won't notice until you take the shoes off to see, how tiny the feet are. But she's got small feet, but they're chubby, so it's hard to fit, tiny shoes on her. So anyway, yeah, it's almost Valentine's Day, and I was thinking about my very favorite Valentine's Day, excuse me, surprise that my husband surprised me with one year. And I'm going to tell you that story while I get her, little Madeline, changed into her lovely Valentine's Day dress. Anyway, like I said, I was an executive assistant, and I worked at a corporate office where, we had to get dressed up every day and all that stuff. So, anyway, like I said, my shoes just, these shoes reminded me of the shoes I used to wear, but I don't know why I'm doing a sidebar here. Anyway, so I was working, and it was Valentine's Day, and my husband called me up at work that day, and which was kind of unusual for him to do. He never called me unless he had a reason. So he called me and he wanted to know, when I was going to be getting off work. And so my job was really, I never did know when I was going to get off work because it was not an 8-hour-a-day job. If you've ever been an assistant of any kind, a secretary, or someone that let's see, well, supports an executive, your hours are you just never know when you're going to get off work because anything could happen, and there's a lot of travel arrangements that need to be done at the last minute, and lots of things, presentations to do, and all this stuff. Well, anyway, he called me, and I I didn't have a clue as to when I was going to get off work, but I did. I said, well, I think today's seems like everybody is getting to take, an early day today because it's Valentine's Day. So I think I'm going to be home at such and such a time, and I forget what time. Probably 6 o'clock is my guess. Anyway, and I was wondering why he was calling. And I probably asked him why, but I forget, it's been so long. This has been, oh gosh, at least probably 15, 20 years ago, I guess, if I were to guess. But anyway, oh, let me show you something. Look at this. I had forgotten that she was wearing these little pants, and they have hearts on them. And so that's part of today's theme too. Isn't that cool? But you can see what a big girl she is. I mean, she's a big girl. She's my biggest toddler, and I just love this little girl. So anyway, I got off work that day, and on all the way home, I was wondering, I wonder what's up. I wonder what's up, And so when I got home, it was so neat. This is just so neat. So I got home and I opened the door. And when I first opened the door, I saw rose petals on the ground. And let me interrupt for just a minute. I'll show you how this dress works. So see, this is the back. And let me see if I can unbutton it here. There it goes. See, you can take this panel off. Now, I don't know why you would want to take this panel off because it's such a pretty part of the dress, but that's what the dress looks like without the panel on the back. But I'm going to go ahead and button it back on. So yeah, I opened the door and there was rose petals on the ground. And the way that our condo worked was, it was like, let's see, it was like 2 flights of steps and a landing before we got to the main floor. And so he had put rose petals on the floor and up the stairs, and then he had trailed them all the way, on the landing, and then he put them across the living room floor, and then we had a third set of stairs that went up to where the bedroom suites were. And those rose petals were all along the steps going up that way. So I thought, oh, this is really cool, but I've never had that happen before, and I thought, well, okay, I'll just follow the rose petals and see where they take me. They took me to our bedroom suite, and we also had a bathroom that was connected to it was a master bedroom that had the bathroom inside of it also. So anyway, but the door was closed to the bathroom, but I could hear music, and I could hear, I used to have this, let's see, what do you call it? Like a jacuzzi bubbler type of thing that plugs in, and then the bubbler part goes into, it like goes over the side of the tub, the bathtub, and then it makes bubbles and makes it like a jacuzzi in the bathtub. Well, he had, when I opened the door, he had a bathtub that was full of bath bubbles. He had the jacuzzi bubbler going. He had rose petals floating in the bathtub in the water. Let's see. He had, beside the bathtub he had set up a tray that had a vase with a rose in it. He had a box of See's candies, and let's see, he had a glass of wine, and he had made a shrimp cocktail for me. And the music that he had played, he had our what we call a boom box. I don't know what you call it these days, but it's like a big radio thing that you can play CDs and radio stations and stuff. Anyway, so he had my favorite relaxation music on, which was Anya back in those days. And so he had everything all set up, and I just couldn't believe it. So he sneaked up, a couple of minutes later just to see my reaction, and I was just overwhelmed. I had never seen such a thing before. But I was I couldn't even believe, and I couldn't even believe that he thought of it, because uh, he's usually not that way. So anyway, I said, "What the heck? How did you even think of doing this and all this?" And he goes, "Well, I don't want to talk about it right now. Go ahead and get in the bath and just relax. I know you've had a hard day at work, um, and I'll tell you later." Oh, and he also had a Valentine's Day greeting card on the table as well, along with everything else. I mean, it was really set up. Oh, and also, the most important thing, he had the lights in the bathroom were off, but he had a whole bunch of candles in the bathroom, so it was giving off that candlelit look. I was just couldn't even believe that he had even thought of something like that. So anyway, it was so relaxing. I mean, I sat in the tub and I sipped on my wine, and had a few shrimps from the shrimp cocktail, and just really enjoyed the bubbles and the Anya music, and just it was awesome. So anyway, it was the most awesome event that I had ever come home to, because I had a really stressful job, and it's really hard when you're an assistant, taking care of an executive that has such a huge schedule of things going on. So it's like being a personal assistant. You have to take care of everything for them throughout the day, and I was always on call too. Like if my boss needed me, I had a phone at home that the boss could call me and stuff. So really, it was almost a 24/7 job. But I'll tell you what, I love that job, so I would never complain about it. But it was stressful. Anyway, so I ended up, taking the bath, and listening to the music, and I probably only spent about a half an hour, because I can't spend too much time in a bath. I just get I just get kind of antsy, like I want to do something else. But anyway, so after I got out of the bath, got dressed, and went downstairs where my husband was. Of course I thanked him for such an awesome Valentine's Day, and then I asked him. I said, "Really, I'm curious. How in the world did you think of doing something like this?" And he said that he had been watching TV that morning, and let's see, I think he was watching like Good Morning America, or some show that had a celebrity on the show, and I think it was a celebrity basketball player. Um, but I kind of vaguely remember it was a basketball player. And anyway, this basketball player, because it was Valentine's Day on that program too, they talked about, what was the most awesome thing that you've ever done for your wife on Valentine's Day, and he described that. And so my husband picked up on that, and so he decided that that would be a really awesome thing for him to do for me too, which I agree. It was the most awesome thing that he's ever done for me. Not that he's very kind and would do anything for me, but for him to pick up on this idea was simply amazing, and I just wanted to share that with you. But another quick thing I wanted to say, what he's done before, is one time I had wanted to get a what do you call when you the walking machines, treadmill, I wanted a treadmill so badly because all I did was sit all day at work and I wanted to be able to exercise when I got home. Well, one time he got me a treadmill, and it was so funny because on the treadmill, you know, like me, I'm trying to work out and trying to keep in shape and everything. And on the treadmill, it was such a contradiction. He had put there was two boxes of candy, chocolate candy, one on either side of the treadmill top. And I had to laugh because it's like on one hand I really wanted to work out, but on the other hand it's like now I'm going to eat all this candy and but I thought that was really thoughtful too. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you today, and I wanted to ask you. I'm I would love to hear your most favorite Valentine's Day story. If you can comment below, what is your favorite Valentine's Day story? You just heard mine, and so I'm very curious about what yours is. Okay, I have decided that I'm not going to put this sweater on her, and the reason I'm not is because it would cover up too much of her dress. She's full arms and full legs, and she's got these cute little cap sleeves. She's got this beautiful collar, so I don't want to cover any of that up. But the last thing I want to do, let's see, what did I do with the earrings? I wanted to put some Valentine's Day earrings on her, and I have these. I'm looking in my little box, and I have these little red hearts that I'm going to put on her. Little red hearts, and they have rhinestones in them. She's got pierced ears, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, which is perfect for Valentine's Day. Here we go, little Miss Madeline. There's your other ear. Yeah, so isn't that pretty? Let me give you a close-up of Madeline. Show you. Let's see if I can pick her up here. There she is. She's all dressed up. And there's her little earrings. Her ears. She's such a pretty sculpt. I love her eyes, and she has little teeth. See her little teeth? She's like biting, or like she's got her lower lip inside there, like little girls do. So anyway, everyone, thank you for stopping by today, and I hope you enjoyed my Valentine's Day story. And like I said, if you could just please, if you have time, and if you want to, can you please tell me what your favorite Valentine's Day story is? I would love to hear it. Okay, everyone, I'm going to let you go now. Have a happy Valentine's Day, and have a wonderful rest of your week. Thanks for stopping by, and until we meet again, bye-bye.